Today's rebuild could be a struggle as we take on Stoke and West Brom. A struggle because this is a retro database from the year that both teams were relegated in real life from the Premier League. The point system is staying the same throughout, so strap in, get yourself acquainted with the 2017 retro database as I sign a Ballon d'Or winner in season number 1. Right, Dad, we're back with another retro database.
Yeah, they're good fun, these old ones, aren't they?
You say old?
It's not that old, isn't it?
No. Within 10 years, this is the either 16-17 or 17-18 database that Mr. Teeny has given me, which should be available very soon, if not already, for you guys to give it a try. Now, around about this time, Chelsea had just won the league title. To give you a bit of a refresh of where we roughly are, Chelsea had just won the league title 16-17, which means we're going into 17-18. That's where Tottenham, the best finish you've ever had, Dad.
Yeah.
Finishing runners-up. The nearly men.
Yeah.
After chucking second away from the season before.
Yeah,
when Leicester, of course.
Yeah, when Leicester, yeah. So we had
won
two
the
good seasons then, and we finished third then, and
Yeah.
second that's the season. So
The glory days,
Then
as a
it all-
Spurs fan calls them.
then it all went down
When
there.
they finished third and second.
When
and still
Dele
didn't win a
Alli
trophy.
left us.
Still didn't win a trophy. Third and second, the glory days. Anyway, we've decided to be Stoke and West Brom. And the reasons why we have picked these teams is these are the bottom two from this upcoming season. So these are the two that finish last and second from last in that Premier League season. So we thought it would be quite an interesting one. Now I'm actually gonna take another approach from this as well. I've gone one step further and I'm gonna play the Stoke way. I'm going full Route 1, fully direct football, which you can see from here. It gives away one of my players already, look.
Yeah.
Much more direct and higher tempo. That is going to be full
That's,
whatever tactic I use.
Tony Pluis's.
Tony Pulis.
When he was there, wasn't he? That was his tactic when he was there.
Pump
yeah,
it long, as
right.
fast as possible. So that's what we're doing in terms of what Stoke are doing. And what I'm also going to try and do is I'm going to make sure every player that I sign is over 6'2". I think that'd just be funny. It's going to make it hard, but that allows you to have a little bit of flexibility, Dad.
Yeah.
And you can do what you
I mean, I was quite pleased with taking West Brom because my granddad was on West Brom's books before the war.
Yeah.
So I've always had a little sort of soft spot for West Brom. So I'm
Yeah.
quite happy with this. So I'm not going to promise I'm going to do anything different or anything. I'm just going to be myself on this one.
So more goalies.
Yeah.
3 up front.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It'd
And
be
any
interesting
player
to
above 30 is gone.
It'd be interesting to see if 3 up front works, though, wouldn't it, with this sort of database?
You say that like it's a new game we're playing.
Well,
It's
sure
the
that-
same game.
Well, if I go 4-4-2, will it work?
Well, yeah, it's
Will
the
it?
same game. Transfers. We both of us had a little bit of a budget at the start of the season, and as you can imagine, back in 2017-18, the world of football probably didn't predict that a player like Rodri would win the Ballon d'Or. So he was happy to go to Stoke, and I signed him for Stoke from Villarreal, £23 million. Ballon d'Or winner Rodri. Some say he's the best defensive midfielder in the world, or the best midfielder in the world, and he's playing in Stoke. 6'3", so he met my
Tuesday
thingy.
winter evening.
Yeah.
See what he's like then.
Yeah, exactly. Can you do it on a Tuesday night in the Britannia?
Yeah.
Well, let's see, Rodri, shall we? I also picked up Christian Zapata from AC Milan, just a good backup defender there. And Bebe. Who remembers Bebe? He played for Manchester United, of course, very early on in his career. I believe when they signed him, there was reports that he was actually homeless at the time when they signed him, and they paid like silly money for him. It doesn't actually show how much they spent on him, but apparently it was quite a lot of money. But I signed him from Ibar. That's where he was. And the reason for it is I am playing a wide target forward. So he is 6'3" with 15 jumping reach. You try and find another winger that is 6'2" or above who has good jumping reach.
He's quick as well.
He's rapid. Yeah. So a bit of a, who knows with this one. And as I say, tactically, I'm trying something here. I've got 3 at the back, 3 no-nonsense centre-backs as well. This is balmy, isn't it? With a fullback on the right-hand side, 2 defensive midfielders, locking Rodri in because for some bizarre reason, they might do now, but no. Joe Allen and Darren Fletcher.
What can I say? I did notice that Darren Fletcher is your best player.
Yeah, they go in above Rodri. So I'm not having that. Sorry, Joe Allen. Rodri goes in. Now, I've already got a wide target forward here with Mame Diouf, 6'1", not bad jumping reach. He's a good target forward.
Your other wingers.
Bebe might be better.
Was he?
Who, Shaqiri?
Yeah.
He's barely over 5 foot. 5'7", which is two inches taller than Dad. This is obviously
I'm
before
5'7".
How long did that take you to bite at that? This is before his move to Liverpool.
Yes.
Of course. When he went to Bayern Munich, went to Inter Milan, then Stoke signed him. This was at a weird place, actually, because this is when Stoke started signing players that you're like, how would they sign, because they got Shaqiri. They also had Hesse, if you remember, was at Real Madrid, then moved to PSG. They loaned him. And we've also got out on loan, so he's not actually at our club this season, but remember Bojan?
Yeah.
Everybody said he was going to be the second coming of Lionel Messi. Never really amounted to anything. Ended up at Stoke. This is no offence to Stoke fans, by the way. I really hope you're not taking any offence to this. Obviously, you know the reputation your club holds, especially under Pulis. I'm just trying to lean into that. So Bojan is only on loan at Alaves. We'll have him next season. As is, if I remember correctly, a bit of a wonder kid in this season in Ramadan Sobhi. Egyptian, 20 years of age. They signed him. He's out on loan. Unbelievable mentals for a 20-year-old, by the way. Yeah. He's actually on loan at Everton. Now, they don't have a buy clause in it, so he'll come back to us. But that's a great player for us to carry on next season. Where will we fit him in? We've also got Berahino, of course, formerly of West Brom, and then he moved to Stoke. But if you remember correctly, he thought he was moving somewhere else on deadline day.
Yeah, that's right,
drove to their stadium.
Yeah.
Oh, chef's kiss for storylines.
That was so funny that year, wasn't it?
Yeah, he is at my club this season, not yours.
I'd love to have been at the training ground the following day.
Oh, God, that would have been awkward, wouldn't it? Hi, guys. It's me, I'm back.
I'm so tired, I've been travelling all night.
Yeah. Oh, I've been driving away, have you? Where have you been off to? Oh, God.
Oh, but he took some stick.
Oh, God, yeah. Every shot he had. Oh, drove that into the corner, yeah. Hey? So, yeah, there's some obviously fantastic players from, just knowing about them. We've even got Peter Crouch in here, who was
good old
one of the
Crouchy.
reasons why I was really happy to be Stoke, and then I realised he's 36 and probably won't play that much anyway. So anyway, Charlie Adams also in the team too. So
do you know how I liked it when he was at Blackpool? Remember when he was at Blackpool and he made
Great
him
at
in the
Blackpool.
Premier League?
Yeah.
He had such a good season that year, didn't he?
On loan, we've also got Kurt Zuma, from Chelsea, the cat kicker, of course.
I was just going to say he loves his cats.
Yeah, Jack Butland didn't go, and Jack Butland was, pushing for
good
England.
keeper, yeah.
Glenn Johnson at the end of his career, the twilight of his career there.
Yeah.
Bruno Martins Indy, he was not bad. Ryan Shawcross, of course, in his prime.
He had the old long throw, didn't he?
Yeah, no, it wasn't Ryan Shawcross.
Wasn't it? I thought he had the long throw.
That was Rory
Rory Delap.
wasn't it?
Yeah, that's right.
Liam Delap's dad.
Yeah.
He was just played in that team. Unfortunately, Roy Delap's probably retired at this point, and they've also retired the long throw.
Yeah.
But Dan, let's have a look at your side, because you spent quite a bit of money too. You're gonna see this, right? I go for players on nostalgia. I go for players that I've heard of and players that I'm like, I used to like him, so I'll sign him. Dad just goes for somebody you never hear of. Some of them.
Hey, there's better people who go, yeah, I've heard of him.
Resio.
Yeah.
I haven't.
No.
No idea. I played this game in 2017. It's FM18. I played this game. Don't remember Rezio.
Don't you? He's a good midfielder.
Yeah, you remember him, didn't you?
Yeah.
Yeah, of course. Martin Montoya. I swear he went to Stoke eventually. I think he did. Martin Montoya, anyway, yeah. He's a good right back. I know Martin Montoya. And then finally, Yaroslav Ratisiski, who I kind of remember from Shakhtar because he was a centre-back with 20 aggression.
Yeah.
And he was left-footed. But he couldn't jump that well. 6 foot, can't jump. But he's 18 strength. He's got the weirdest mix of attributes ever.
Yeah.
But yeah, tactically, 4-4-2.
Yeah, I'll try that 4-4-2. See how I get on.
Yeah, you've got some players in there that streets will remember. Salomon Rondon. I was a big fan of Salomon. 6'2", quite fast, very strong, good in the air, good finisher of the ball.
Yep.
Jay Rodriguez, of course.
He's a good tricky striker, really.
Did very well at Southampton before
him,
that. I think West Brom had just signed him at this point.
Yeah.
He did look first season, so he's in the side as well. Jay Rodriguez, Nasser Chadley, former Spurs player, picked up from West Brom. So not too bad there. Krichawak, who of course was on loan from PSG. You've got Matt Phillips, the Scottish right midfielder, who is very tricky. Good cross on him, as you can see there. Johnny Evans. With Ballon Dawson.
Yeah, Ballon Dawson.
As the West Ham fans call him.
It's two good centre defenders there with a cracking goalkeeper behind them.
Oh, yeah. Ben Foster.
Yeah, what a keeper he is. What a character he is. Really.
Yeah.
What a keeper he was as well. Yeah.
34. Cracking keeper, you can see. It is a shame. I mean, you've got the likes of Oliver Burke, 20 years of age. He's got good potential in this game. It is a shame that you bought Montoya, because originally, before Montoya came in, Dad had the fastest right back
Oh, here we go.
in the world. Alan. Thank you. See you later.
Oh, he tried this joke on me 3 times and it just went
And it
right.
worked. You liar. It worked every time. Every time you laughed at that joke, you knew it was funny. He's actually quick in the game as well. Alan. So fast.
I just sat and I was going like that.
Yeah, get out. You were pissing yourself laughing.
I was.
You were laughing so much at that joke.
Oh dear. Oh,
I said
dear.
it twice. Because I said it when you
Yeah,
first
I didn't get it the first time.
And then when you sold him, I went, oh, no, you sold no. And then I said it now.
Oh,
the
dear,
third time.
oh, dear.
Don't go, just because the camera's on, don't go acting like, oh, yeah, Luke's supposed to be really funny. You were pissing yourself laughing at that one. It's a great joke. I used to love that one. The fastest right back in the world. And he's genuinely quite quick.
I tried to get rid of him before he started doing the jokes, but it didn't happen.
No, you didn't. You were buzzing that you had him in your team. So, there we are. Anyway, that's the tactics and who we've bought in that. And the nostalgia is over. Let's look at the start of the season, because both of these teams are tipped for relegation. Well, they were relegated. This is, we're not lying. These were the teams that were relegated outside of Rodri playing for... that didn't happen, but still. Southampton 2-0 that you've beaten them, Dad, but a loss to West Ham away from home.
Yeah.
And a loss to Arsenal at home with Alexis Sanchez and Danny Welbeck scoring.
Yeah.
This is... whoa. When Alexis Sanchez was, genuinely one of the best... Isn't it weird how, quick a player can ruin his reputation?
Yeah.
Because this is just before he moved to Manchester United. Oh, what a player he was at Arsenal.
Well, you couldn't believe your luck when you got him, could you? Really?
No. And then, God, he was terrible. And now, Danny Welbeck, I mean, if you had said at this point which player is going to go on to have the better Premier League career, from that point, you would have gone, Alexis Sanchez.
Easily.
Yeah. Danny Welbeck, still banging him in for Brighton, still one of the best finishers.
I think he's their league goal scorer at this particular moment.
He's fantastic.
Yeah,
he's so
having
good.
a good...
Yeah, I'd have him back at United in a heartbeat.
He's sorted out his injury problems and he's having a good season.
He is, yeah. Good for him. I always liked
Yeah.
Danny Welbeck. I was actually gutted when United sold him. Anyway, you beat Oxford in the cup, but yeah. The point system, very similar to what it is. Of course, we're probably going to be relying on games against each other at the start of this, because I can't see us winning much.
Well, I've got Spurs in the next round of the cup, so I've got no chances.
Yeah, I did beat Newcastle 2-0, so good start. But this isn't the Newcastle team that was any good. I think this is the Newcastle team that had just been promoted. So we are pre-money, pre-Saudi.
Yeah.
Pre-Alexander Isak.
I was looking at the team, Matt Ritchie and Sean
Matt
on staff as well. Yeah.
No offence, Matt Ritchie, but you're the key player here. This is how dire it's got for Newcastle. Sholan Miobi's probably still around somehow. They got Mitrovic and they got Jose Perez, which isn't a bad result.
Mitrovic was from played at Newcastle.
Yeah. They are the ones that brought him into the Premier League.
I always think of him being at Fulham.
Yeah. He went to Newcastle first off. Arsenal player Mikel Merino.
Yeah.
Before he went to Real Sociedad.
And you got them. One of the players is still there now, Murphy.
Yeah. He's still there.
A good season.
Christian Atsu, I think, has passed away since. I think that's Christian Atsu. Sorry if I am wrong. I think it was Christian Atsu. DeAndre Yedlin.
Yeah.
Played for Tottenham, one of the fastest players. He's actually quicker than Neon. This was genuine a fact. He's quicker than Neon. This is a great database, and we could spend hours. I will be doing a video myself on the database itself anyway, and having a look at probably go into the future and see what happens, because we've also got it so that the new gens come through are the new gens that come through in real life as well. But let's look at the Premier League and the season preview. You can see that we're actually, that might be down to the signings we've made as well, but 11th and 12th, which isn't too bad. Media Dream 11, by the way, we got to call this out, because what's Scott Sinclair doing in that? I know this is quite a long time ago, but Scott Sinclair, fair enough. Sergio Aguero's in it. Kevin De Bruyne in one of his first seasons back in the Premier League with Manchester City. Of course, he's just announced he is about to leave.
Yeah.
Mkhitaryan for Manchester United, 28. I remember I was buzzing when they signed him, and obviously De Gea's in there as the goalie, which is weird how things change quite quickly, isn't it?
Yeah.
But all right, season number 1 then. Let's get things underway and see who takes an early advantage if we can stay in there. Eden Hazard. Just about to move on, but look how good Eden Hazard was.
What a player.
Arguably the best player in the world at that point.
Yes.
That was when Chelsea had just won the league. He was phenomenal that season. Anyway, let's simulate the season, see what happens. Alright, first season. Laughing off camera to a Neon joke, Dad was. See, off camera, finds it hilarious. Because I said how long we took in that first season. We went as quick as Neon. And he was like, oh!
I can't believe you used it again.
Yeah, you were pissing yourself. Anyway, good season. We both survived.
Yeah.
I finished slightly higher in 8th place. You finished in 11th.
I had an awful finish. Look at that finish I had.
Yeah, you did actually. You kind of chucked it away.
Yeah, I did. Yeah, I could have been a lot higher.
62 points. Gotta be happy with that. Matt Phillips of West Brom with the most assists in the season. Who's seen that coming? I definitely didn't. We did mention how good he was at crossing. You finished with 51 points, Dad. So 11 points behind me there. But you did lose twice. Did lose to me there. We'll have to check the other results. And we drew. So I got 1 point above you for finishing above you and 1 point for beating you there. Arsenal won the league. Ooh. You can tell this is a simulation. Hey?
Yeah.
Sorry, Arsenal fans. Just thought I'd throw it out there early. Getting the digs in while I can. Harry Kane was the top scorer, 24 goals. Romelu Lukaku, 19. If only we had that at United. That was...
I always look at him. I always
He's
think,
very unlucky.
what a striker. Yeah, he was. Because he can't be the Belgium top goal scorer, in history for nothing, can you? And he goes elsewhere and he scores goals.
Yeah.
And he comes to United and just dried
up. He did score goals.
He just didn't score as many, though, did he?
No. Jermaine Defoe is still knocking around. I mean, 19 goals at age 35. Take my hat off to you, Jermaine Defoe. I won't physically, but I'll give you a little nod anyway. Jamie Vardy's knocking in 16 there, obviously. 2 seasons after winning the league with them. Jamie Vardy's having a party. But let's have a look then. Stoke. Well, actually, quickly, past positions, because you said you lost quite a lot of games at the end there. We switched. You were finishing above me 32 game weeks in and chucked it away. So
awful finish.
Yeah. Competitions for Stoke. No. 3rd round by Everton. Quarter final by Barnsley. Top goal scorer was Berahino, but Hesse got 16. Bojan will be coming back and he got 12 there, so that ain't too bad.
Nope.
Sobby's played quite well and hopefully developed a little bit. Yeah, thank you very much, Everton. Yes. We'll take that. Coming back to us now. We've got quite a few players actually coming back as well. And Rodri's got better luck. Look at that. Whoa. I can't remember if he was a wonder kid or not in this version of Football Manager FM18. My transfer budget, £51 million, which I dare say Stoke did spend £51 million when they went down to the Championship. So that's unrealistic in terms of that. But Dad, competitions, quarter final and 3rd round by Tottenham.
I said Tottenham's going to knock me out of the Carabao, didn't I? So that was that one.
Huddersfield, if you're thinking, that's a bad result, they finished position below. This is when Huddersfield was in the Premier League. They done well to survive that. I can't remember who it was that went down with West Brom and Stoke. It might have been Huddersfield.
Yeah.
I can't quite remember who it was, but it definitely wasn't Palace or Brighton.
No.
Might have been Swansea. Actually, it might have been Palace. I know Palace did come back up into the Premier League recently. I just can't remember when it was. Definitely weren't Brighton, though. Brighton has not gone back down, but they went down with just 15 points. If you remember, that Brighton team was really good. But anyway, that's the past. We're looking into the future. Dad, you have 16 goals from Jay Rodriguez. Solomon Rondon got 13 there. £50 million as well for you. So it's 2-0 in terms of the points.
Yeah,
don't have to worry about that. Let's have a look at season 2. Okay, second season transfer window. I made the big decision to sell Berahino for £30 million. This time, he waited until the deal was done before he went up to Merseyside for his move to Everton. But I think I spent the money really well. On top of course, the £50 million. Manuel Akanji, another future Manchester City title-winning player. Manuel Akanji signed him before his prime. 23 years of age, the Swiss defender. He can also play right back, so a good player as well. Of course, we're still looking for those 6'2" and above. Danny Da Costa, 6'2", at right back. Played for Frankfurt. When I first got into Football Manager content was FM19, which would have been this season coming. Danny Da Costa was their right back. That's how I fell in love with Eintracht Frankfurt after their cup win and decided to do a save with them. So he was one of the players there. Patrick Schick from Sampdoria. This was before he moved to the Bundesliga, and he looks great, by the way.
Definitely,
a fantastic player, bit of a wonder kid on the save. Left-footed, good striker, very strong, good pace. Everything about him says goals. En-Nesyri, before he became really good, played at Malaga, which he had his earlier days. Now, I have bought him for £14 million, but I was looking to loan him out, if I'm honest. I'm not really looking to play him yet, and he is playing for my under-21s and scoring some goals for them. Got 7 assists too, because I don't think he'll get game time yet. But I also signed Yaya Toure. Yaya Toure decided to leave Manchester City at 35 and come to Stoke. Didn't have to move that far.
No.
Tactically, we have changed things up a little bit from our three at the back. We've just moved it, basically gone and got a inside or inverted fullback. So very similar to the style of play that we were actually using. But Wimmer then goes in there. Rodri and Fletcher in centre mid, with Bojan coming back, of course, going in that centre attacking midfield role. Diouf in the wide target forward, with Schick up front and Shaqiri from the left. Dad, your transfers this season. Now, you've got a couple of players, James Morrison going out, Ratasiski, who you only just signed, sold. And some would say that you overspent when you paid £55 million for Harry Winks.
Good midfielder.
Said nobody ever. Oh, he's okay. I'm being a bit harsh on Harry Winks.
Leading
there.
Premier League division player, it says up there as well. So
No, that's
he's
potential.
Well, potential, but yeah, you got potential to be in there.
Yeah, did he ever make that? No.
No, not really, no. I think Spurs got rid of him in the end, didn't they?
Yeah, they definitely didn't get £55 million for him, that's for sure.
No.
You also signed Sam Johnson on a goalkeeper on a free.
Yeah.
As you do. You normally like to do that anyway.
Well, if they're free, I'll take them, yeah.
Yeah, and Mamadou Sakho, making use of the relegated sides. Crystal Palace going down, £28 million for a very good centre-back.
Yeah, definitely, yeah. Very, very physical one as well, isn't he?
Left-footed too. In his prime.
Yeah, I think when the left-footed ones come up, I think you've got to grab them when you get the chance as well.
Yeah. Sticking with your 4-4-2.
Yeah, I'll stick with it. Yeah, I was quite happy with it last season, so yeah.
Best 11 pick. It's pretty much the same team, actually.
Yeah, I was quite surprised with that, especially with Johnny Evans keeping Nearly out, so yeah.
Sakho,
out, yeah.
Harry Winks not getting into the... Dad said to me, he was like, I can't believe... He texted me, you might have seen me post it on the internet, actually. He texted me saying...
You me up, did you?
No, I didn't say who it was about. I just showed the text message where you sent me saying, I can't believe Harry Winks doesn't go in the first team. And I went, that is the first time anybody has ever said that. Did very well on social media, that one. But yeah, he doesn't. He's stuck on the bench there.
He was injured, that's why.
Yeah.
Oh, he's on international duty.
Yeah. We've played each other, Dad. You beat me. So you pick up your first point. 93rd minute goal from Salomon Rondon.
Yeah.
I was 2-1 up. I went 1-0 down, 2-1 up, lost 3-2. An entertaining game there at the Hawthorns. But you kicked things off, Dad, with a great win against Liverpool.
Yeah, really good start. So I'm pleased with that. Yeah.
So Jay Rodriguez getting the winner in that one. Man City was a loss there, unfortunately, 2-0. A loss in extra time in the Carabao Cup second round. Tommy Elphick's 150.
Might as well get out of it now. Stays me playing the extra games.
Yeah, that's a rivalry as well.
Yeah.
Bad loss. And then Norwich 3-3.
Yeah.
James Husband scored.
Disappointed with that result.
At the 87th minute to equalise. So let's have a look at my results. We already know one of them, of course, losing to Dad, but the rest of them have been all right. I did lose to Burnley. Scott Arfield got a 95th minute goal in the first game, which is annoying. Bournemouth did beat them, even though I was down to 10 men. Still scored with a 97th minute Akanji goal, so that's lovely.
2 games where it's scoring inside the 90 minutes.
Yeah. Then Bebe got a couple of goals against Rotherham, and we won 2-1 there. And then Hull City, 5-1. They've come up to the Premier League there. We beat them 5-1, which is a good start. All right, season number 2. Let's crack on with it, see what happens. Season number 2 then. I finished in 5th place. Dad, you finished in 6th?
Yeah, I mean, we both done well as well, so I'm quite happy with that, really.
Yeah. Only dropped behind Arsenal on the final day of the season as well.
I mean, drew 2, lost 1 out of the last 5 games. It's a lot of points to drop to miss out on. I could have had that space above quite easily.
I lost quite a few games towards the end of the season.
Yeah, you did as well, yeah.
Both in Europe next year.
Yeah, makes it interesting, doesn't it?
That does. I feel sorry for Yorkshire clubs.
Oh, blimey, yeah.
If you're from Yorkshire, Leeds, Hull and Huddersfield, who I think is Huddersfield in Yorkshire or close at least? They're all roughly at the same sort of end
around that area of the
country.
Yeah, for us it's up, isn't it? So that's it.
Yeah, anything like above Exeter is up.
Yeah.
Premier League, if looking at it, we both had a goal scorer in there. Rondon with 20, Schick with 19, which is great. Manchester United were champions by 10 points as well, which, I wish that had happened in real life. Carlo...
Oh, there he is.
Good God, yeah.
There he is, the legend.
That would have been a dream come true for me. I wonder whether he would have got Pogba and Zlatan Ibrahimovic with Carlo Ancelotti. That would have been an unbelievable team. No wonder why they won the league. Look at the average rating being dominated by Man United players. Clean sheets, Man United. Yeah, that would have been a great time. Player of the match, though, was Rondon. He got 8 across the season. Shaqiri got most assists, so we're sharing those around.
Yeah.
That's quite good. In the past positions, obviously we both had good years, but again, we were close quite throughout the season, to be honest. You could have picked me at the end, but you didn't. Quite tight, though.
Yeah, but you lost a couple of games near the end, didn't you? So you could have easily been a lot higher than me. So.
Yeah. Right, we're on West Brom. Competitions. Did you win anything else? No. third round in the FA Cup by Colchester. That is bad.
Yes.
20 goals from Solomon Rondon. Your team's looking quite small as well, to be honest.
It's a bit, isn't it?
Yeah, you've got £52 million to make it bigger. Anyway, competitions for me: 5th round by Manchester City, quarter-final by Arsenal. Not
close.
Great, yeah. So I finished high, so that's 1 point. Beat you in that West Brom 1-0 win there.
I beat you at the beginning of the season.
And you beat me at the start of the season, which was 1 point for you. So scores are very easy off the top of my head. It is going into the third season. Total points for season number 2 is Omega Luke with 2, Dad with 1, meaning the total points is Omega Luke with 4 and Dad with 1. Now, I had 21 goals from Patrick Schick, 14 from Yaya Toure. Come on, Yaya. Look at that. Yeah. Which is now a darts chant. It's very weird. Sherdan Shaqiri, 17 assists. My transfer budget, £43 million. Let's go on to season 3. Okay, going into season number 3, Dad, you had a small squad.
Yep, so I get a few freebies
I had to sign in quite a few, actually.
Yeah.
Jean-Michel Seri, who I remember quite well, actually, was very good on this game. There he is again, you can see showcasing that on a free transfer from Nice.
Yeah, good bargain that.
Meunier from Barcelona, another one of those players that come through Barcelona's youth academy that everybody was raving about for a while. Meunier. Fontas from Celta Vigo. You're going to see a lot of the ESC work permits on here because finding work permits on this was hard.
Oh, it was terrible, wasn't it?
Difficult, very difficult. Left-footed centre-back. Then you got Scott Sinclair. Didn't need a work permit for him. Just 2 seasons ago was in the Media Dream 11. Now he got sold for £1.2 million.
That's good winger though.
Looks good.
Yeah.
Does look good.
Yeah, it's good.
Enzo Rocco's also in there for a good centre-back option there from Chile. £8.25 million. But it don't stop there. You got another goalkeeper coming up. But Emil Kraft. Good attacking fullback from Bologna. £13 million. Horvar from Club Brugge. There's your goalie. Your 1 a year goalie.
Christ, you're getting better as well. I mean, Ben Foster's coming to the end of his age for the group where I could be losing him if it gets to the end of his contract, so I'm just getting a keeper in just in case. Yeah.
So the likes of Jonathan Lecco. Oh, God. Alan Neon's gone.
Yeah. Just like that. Gone.
Quick as that.
It was, yeah.
Yeah. When you go, gone. Ruben Duarte, left-footed there, centre-back, left-back, not bad at all.
No, it covers a few positions, so I'm quite happy with that as well, yeah.
And tactically, setting up very different. 4-2-2 there,
I've got
two wingers.
I've got a couple of wingers in, so I might as well use them now, really, don't I?
Yeah.
And I got a couple of spare ones as well, so... Yeah, I think I've got a good squad, better squad than I had when I finished the season, so yeah, I'm quite happy with this.
All right, okay. We'll look at the start of the season. We haven't played each other. 3 good results there. Brighton getting a 2-2. They've just come back up. Beating Bournemouth 4-1. They got Callum Wilson, and everybody remembers how good Callum Wilson was on Football Manager days. Like, he was scary good because of the pace and finishing.
Yeah.
Then you got 6-0 away to Newcastle.
Brilliant result, that one.
Again, they're not the Newcastle that
no, they're
we
not.
know
But
now.
It's still good to go up there and get a 6-0 win.
Yeah. Unfortunately, we've still got the classic Europa League phase that we are using this season, not what there was in the 1920 season, whatever it would be now. But let's have a look at my transfers going in and out. So I've loaned out En-Nesyri this season, trying to give him some football with Sunderland as well, so keeping him in the league. Lost the likes of Afellay and Christian Zapata. Eric Peters went out for a little bit, but I think I've brought him quite well, actually. Starting off with Mikel Merino. We mentioned him earlier, actually. Obviously, he plays for Arsenal now, but in this universe, in this world, I bought him from Newcastle, and he looks very good indeed in my centre midfield. Maybe alongside Yaya Toure, maybe alongside Rodri. There's a cracking midfield.
It is, yeah, definitely, yeah.
Frederic Ronau. He eventually went into the Premier League as well, but in this world, I signed him for Stoke from Bromby. And then Patenya from Atalanta, £20 million. The reason why? 6'3" again, left-footed. Doesn't have the best composure. 9 for composure. But the rest of him, like teamwork, 19, good work rate.
Do you need composure for heading a ball into the net?
Yeah.
Right?
Imagine not being composed. And just heading anything. Was my impression good enough? Did it persuade you that you need composure?
Oh, yeah, I'll go with that then.
Yeah. We'll see if he does score goals. Maybe he will, maybe he won't. I've changed, though. I've gone for a 4-2-2. However, stuck to my guns. Still much more direct and higher tempo. The rest, obviously, I've changed because Sobby and Bojan are 2 excellent players that play in behind the striker here. And I think utilising those 2 lads in there is where I need to go. Marino and Rodri in the midfield. This is good. Xherdan Shaqiri actually drops down to the bench. That's how good this team is now.
Yeah.
Schedule-wise, I am currently top of the league. We're about to play each other, but I have won 3 out of 3. I've beaten Chelsea, who are probably the best team in the league, quite comfortably at the Britannia 3-1. Norwich 2-1, and a nice home win against Southampton 4-1. What cracks me up about this, right, is this is the picture. Looks lovely. Everybody knows when you go to Stoke, though, it rains.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think I've ever seen a game at the Britannia where it wasn't dark and raining. That's just how I remember the Britannia. Good start to season number 3. Will it continue, though? Let's see what happens. Alright, season number 3. You've dropped down to 10th place now.
Bad season for me.
Yeah.
Not too good at all. Bad finish as well, by the looks of it. Yeah.
I had a 6th place finish, only picking up 1 more point, and I would have finished in the Champions League spots next season. Bournemouth, though. Fair play to Bournemouth.
Yeah.
This is very early on in their Premier League years. Bournemouth have managed to go on and get... It's Callum Wilson effect. We all know that. I mean, they like Stan Gosling, Plymouth lad.
Yeah, it is, yeah.
Of course. Asmir Begovic in goal. Great goalkeeper back in the day. Mark Warburton's actually their manager, but Callum Wilson probably is the reason why they finished that high. But yeah, 68 points for me. Not too bad at all. Patenya. Remember the lad who had no composure? Golden Boot winner. Jordan Ibe has got the 2nd highest average rating, now playing in the Ballers League, which is not even 11-a-side. Mental how the world changes, isn't it, in such a short space of time.
Yeah.
There we go. West Ham getting relegated. Brighton going down again. So all these storylines, and Arsenal winning 2 years out of 3.
They only lost 3 games there as well. Well, Liverpool lost 2. They just drew some.
Yeah, only losing 2 and then still not being able to win the league by 9 points. By the way, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Okay, we're on Stoke competitions. Nothing. Champions League, though, which somehow I was in, round of 16 by Liverpool. So we can have a look, because Dad, you were in the Europa League.
Yeah.
Liverpool knocked me out 5-1 in the round of 16. They went on to the final and lost to Barcelona. But the knockout playoff round, I didn't play in. I finished in the top 8. Come on, Stoke. Lost 4-0 to Real Madrid by Leverkusen. I'll tell you what, right, if Rennes appear here in this retro database...
Oh, that'd be so funny.
How? It's just haunting me. 1 draw against Dortmund and 5 wins there. Beating Manchester City in one of the games. So cracking stuff, really good. 3rd round by West Ham, semi-final by Chelsea in the Carabao Cup. Not great. Dad, what about yourself? Did you win any cups? No.
Tottenham done me in the Minging Carabao Cup.
Man United in the FA Cup, and your favourite team, Arsenal, in the Euro.
What a time to come against Arsenal when they were the best team in the Premier League as well.
They beat you 5-2 as well in the round of 16. So at that point, knockout playoff round, no, you got through that. Arsenal were in it though.
Yeah.
Hilariously. So in the league phase, wow. Second behind Metz.
I didn't lose a game in that.
No. 2 draws, Besiktas and Bilbao. 6 wins.
Where did Arsenal finish then?
Down here. 13.
Blimey. That was a good chance, that was.
Yeah, so who won the FA Cup this season? It was Tottenham, who beat Man United on penalties. And the Carabao Cup, Man United, who beat Chelsea 1-0.
So who won the Euro Cup?
The Europa League was won by Marseille.
Ooh.
Beating Udinese in the final. Valerie Germain was their top scorer, who scored quite a lot of goals by the looks of it. Interesting season. 23 goals from Oliver Burke. He's really stepped up, and he's now 23. Getting into the first team. He's quick.
Looking good.
Yeah, Munier got 18 and 20 assists, which is very good. Jay Rodriguez still knocking around. Got a good amount of goals and assists there.
Harry Winks played 42 games.
Yeah, probably the reason why he didn't win anything. Transfer budget, £54 million going into next season. Patenya, 30 goals. Go on. Patrick Schick with 17. Ramadan Sobhi from centre attacking midfield got 16. And Nasiri on loan got 14, so that's good. 10 and 10 for Bojan and Diouf. And then £47 million to spend next season. So, yeah, not too bad. Although my finances are looking quite rough at the minute. Oh well. Okay, let's have a look at the points. Well, actually, before we look at the points, the reason why the points are like that, we drew 4-4. I realised we didn't show the results against each other, but in the earlier contest, I beat Dad 6-2. So I finished higher.
That's why we come back to it.
Yeah, and I got the point. Well, but if I said I won 2 points, everyone went, how?
Yeah, all right.
Anyway, the points for this season, Mega Luke with 2. Dad, how many did you get? 0. So that means the total points are Mega Luke with 6 and Dad with 1. Alright, Dad, this, I would say, is the biggest transfer window for Stoke versus West Brom that you're going to see. Now, Dad, you signed a lot of players this season.
Yeah, I did, yeah.
Again, building up that side. Ben Gibson came in from Middlesbrough, £18 million, left-footed. Good centre-back. Koulibaly, £25 million. Looks fantastic.
Good midfielder, yeah.
Cracking player.
Yeah.
Physicals on that. Really, really good. We then also have Luka Jovic, who, again, this year was one of my favourite players at that Frankfurt side. He was fantastic.
Good striker.
When he was in a Frankfurt shirt, I absolutely loved him.
Well, yeah.
Yeah,
Good.
really good. Luke McGee from Portsmouth.
Yeah.
The goalkeeper. There's your one a season. Connor Goldson. I always forgot that he played for Brighton.
Yeah.
Of course, went on to play for Rangers for such a long time.
Good for the squad, he'll be for me.
Davy Klaassen, £17 million. Great mental attributes.
Well, he plays like in a lot of positions for me, so it's ideal right for the spine again.
Yeah. Shepelev from Dynamo Kiev, £30 million.
Really strengthened my midfield up now.
Kareem Rekic from Hertha Berlin, good centre-back.
Yeah.
Again, left foot. How many left-footed centre? That's 4 you've signed.
And do you know, I keep getting them all in, and none of them beats Johnny Evans.
Well, they're not. They're not going to.
He's that good.
Yeah.
Even at his age, was it 32, 33 now?
Even at that age. 32 is not old.
I know it's not old, but for a centre back, you know, you when you
That's
get
what-
these
that's
youngsters,
like
when you
prime
get
years.
when you get these youngsters in, you see how good they are. You think, yeah, I'll get him, and he's really good. And you look at it and you think, Johnny Evans is still beating him.
You'd be a terrible real-life manager.
Yeah, would you?
So they come back from pre-season, like, what are you doing here? You'd be like, what? I went, I thought you turned 32 this summer. Well, I did. Well, you're on the transfer list, son. You're out. I need to get these youngsters in.
Oh,
Like the most experienced centre-backs in the world in their 30s. Like, get out. You got Carlos Puyol, who's like 38, still amazing. You're like, you shouldn't have been here 5 years ago. Anyway, Sergio Oliveira is your final signing there. Tactically, we're looking at it. It's over here. It's back.
Got to be three up front.
It's the 3 up front.
The rest is not working for me, so I'm going to go for my favourite formation. 3 up front. Yeah, 3 in midfield.
Okay.
Let's go for it.
Well, if we're looking at it, best 11 pick.
I've got
sets
good
it up
strikers
like
in there
this.
and a really strong midfielder. So
Really strong midfield and Harry Winks.
yeah. Hey, he played all season for me last season, so he must be good.
Oh yeah, and a very bang average West Brom side that didn't win anything. Really good. Really justifies his performance in
I
there.
take it you don't like Harry Winks.
I think he's all right. You spent £55 million on him though. That had to be called out. There's people who are going to be going. There's a lot of good players on this database. Harry Winks is not one of them that you should be spending
I'll tell you
£55
what,
million
mate.
on.
I had the money to buy these players, and when you go for the big name players and that, they just did not want to come to West Brom.
Yeah.
I can't help that. I can only sign the players that turn around and say, yeah, all right, I'll come.
Yeah, you know, like Rodri or Yaya
Yeah,
Toure.
when I tried for the
Or
big
Mikel
players, none of them
Moreno.
wanted to come to me, though.
Yeah, all of these players.
They prefer to go up to Stoke, didn't they? On a Tuesday evening, on a rainy Tuesday evening.
Exactly.
Freezing cold.
in the
Instead
thriving
of coming
area
down
of
to the Midlands.
Stoke-on-Trent.
Yeah.
That's where they would rather go. Anyway, my beloved Stoke fans, this is a signing that I made this season. £55 million on Harry Winks, or 69, you naughty little buggers, on big Virgil van Dijk. Now that's a signing.
That is a signing.
That is a cracking signing.
I think it's one of the best signings Liverpool's made for years.
Yeah, Dutch Chris Smalling.
Yes.
It's a Goldbridge term, isn't it? That he always comes back to.
Yeah.
The Dutch Chris Smalling. But he's still amazing on this from his time at Southampton. £69 million. He's been on my shortlist for 3 years, I must admit. And it was just the time that I could actually sign him eventually. But we made the move. We got him in. He's in the door. But it's not the only one. Czech Kiate, £7.5 million. 6'4". Again, cracking midfielder there. This is where, unfortunately, the 6'4" went out the window because I accidentally signed Idrissa Gueye on it. Normally, what I would do to make sure they were all 6'2" or above is I'd go on my scouting and go on players, and I would do it this way. But unfortunately, on my scouting that your scouts bring to you, the scout report, it had Idrissa Gueye. And I just lost the centre midfielder. And I was like, I'll just bring him in. And then completely forgot about my rule of having to be 6'2". So, the only player that I have brought in, who's 5'9", is Idrissa Gueye, who's still good. Kind of breaks my 6'2" monster rule. Anyway, Galashi comes in as a backup goalkeeper for me. Very good. And then Christian Benteke, £10 million. Christian Benteke, what a player. 29 years of age. He's going to be a backup, all right? So we're not looking at it too much as if we he's going to get straight into the team. However, he has scored 6 goals from 3 starts at the start of the season. I don't know, maybe he'll turn into my number one.
Yeah.
Tactically, we're sticking with what we had last season. If we're looking at the best 11, we've actually gone a little bit further past, so I forgot to save it. But Patenya and Schick Sobby and Bojan. Still up there instead of En-Nesyri, who is knocking around still. And a little bit of development, and Christian Benteke, who's got those 6 goals at the start. Now, schedule at the start of the season, we can see, obviously, we've played a couple more games. We even played a Europa League game, which I've beaten PAOK 5-0 with Benteke getting a hat-trick. But it's been a good start for me, to be honest.
Definitely, yeah.
Lost to Tottenham, but that was a Harry Kane goal there. Never mind. A draw to Southampton, despite losing Virgil van Dijk. Unfortunately, they got Javier Hernandez, though, Chicharito. So I used to love Chicharito. What a player.
I went to sign him as well and he wouldn't come to me.
Yeah?
Yeah.
He was like, what's your midfield look like? Harry, I ain't playing for them. Completely uncalled for it. Yeah. He's like, oh, is Alan still there? And you go, Alan, no. You went, no. Nah, he's gone.
Oh, dear.
Did you say Alan Neom to Southampton? Because that would have been hilarious. If he had actually gone. Where did he go? Dion. Yeah, he went to Dion. Never mind.
Dion.
Anyway, schedule for me, that's what it looks like. Over for Dad, the schedule for you, a little bit inconsistent.
Yeah.
But you have played some big teams.
Up and down there, really annoying.
Lost to Arsenal, beat Everton, drew to Manchester United. Very good result there, but lost to Liverpool away from home. Lost to Manchester United in the Cup, drew to Manchester City in the league. So yeah, you've played obviously some big games in there, which is the reason why you're 12th at the minute. Okay, season number 4, let's see what happens. Okay, season number 4, Christian Benteke, by the way, is my top scorer with 42 goals.
42.
Jesus.
But he wasn't even in your starting lineup, was he?
He wasn't. This is interesting because I finished in 7th place. But if you tally up the points that I won against the games that I've played, it doesn't add up. However, I was deducted 9 points for going into administration this season.
So you've still done really well, really. 9 points really took you up.
Took me up to 74 points, which means I would have finished 1 place above. Because Manchester United had a better goal difference than me anyway. Which would have been in the Europa League, I think. I don't know what I go into now because it's all messed up, but still. In terms of games against each other, Dad, you beat me 2-1 in one of the games. However, I beat you in the other 1-0 away from home for you. So at the Britannia. Let's look at the league though. Christian Benteke, 20 goals. I said he wasn't going to get into the first team, but clearly I was lying. There he is. Sobby got 12 assists.
I think Lukaku's been second every season, isn't he?
Yeah, he's really good. Behind Harry Kane, been really good. For some reason, Man City have got Kasper Dolberg. I can't remember if Kasper Dolberg was amazing on that game or not. He might have been. Let me know if you played FM18. There's obviously some wonder kids that you're going to remember a lot more than others. If you
the average ratings as well. I've seen William there quite a few times as well. He was a good little player as well, wasn't he?
Yeah, he still is.
Yeah.
I think he obviously went to Fulham recently, didn't he? And still played quite well.
Yeah, he come back to Fulham, didn't he? Yeah.
But all right, okay, we're on Stoke. Let's have a look at competitions. Oh, Europa League winners. I was a little bit confused why it said ECC next to me. I didn't click because normally we're using to see UCL. And I had no clue what it was in. But there we go. Europa League winners beating Porto in the final 3-1.
Don't worry about that. I need to win something now.
Get in. Christian Benteke was a top scorer. He got 2 in the final. Second minute he's banging in a goal. Unbelievable. What a game that is. Played in Gelsenkirchen, the Schalke Stadium. Lovely stuff. Well, let's have a look at that then. So the league phase finished only behind Tottenham. Lost 1 get 2 Porto, who are beat in the final. Won 7 games there. Lovely stuff. So obviously went straight into the round of 16. Knocking out Austrian side Klagenfurt, who I've never heard of, I must admit. Beating Spurs.
God, blimey. 5-1. Yeah, well done.
I deserve to go on and win it.
Yeah, he did.
Knocking out Man City.
Well, he definitely deserved to win it then.
Wow, that is a good run. 7-6 as well. An unbelievable semi-final. Oh, I am buzzing with that. Tottenham knocked me out of the FA Cup, though.
Well, you beat Spurs, who won that group, and you also beat Man City, who come second in the league.
Yeah, so 79 points.
You deserve to win it then.
Yeah. Dad, did you win anything,
Come
though?
on.
No. Quarter-final by Newcastle, 3rd round by Manchester United.
Getting a little bit closer.
Oliver Burke is your top scorer again. 21 goals. So, I mean, he's developing quite well.
He is, yeah.
Very pacey.
Yeah.
You've got Solomon Rondon still scoring goals for you there. 16. Luka Jovic has got quite a few. Munir's got quite a few. £43 million. The 3 up front, what do you think? Because it's not really paid off for you there.
No, I didn't, did it? I've still done better than I done last season, so it's going the right way.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'll just see who I get in. It all depends who I get in. If I can strengthen the position I got, I might stay with it just to see what happens.
Okay, well, let's see what I have done here as European winners. Stoke. We've got 42 goals from Benteke in only 37 starts.
That's good.
Fair play.
Yeah.
Patenya, who's got no composure, can still score 30 goals as well. Patrick Schick with 27. And, wow, Ramadan Sobhi with 27 and 20 assists is pretty good.
Yeah.
For a centre attacking midfielder, that is phenomenal stuff from him. Really good. Patrick Schick's developed really well as well. Look at that. Oh my God. He is phenomenal. So, two fantastic players there. Shaqiri playing quite a lot off the bench, getting 20 assists. Got to be happy with that. Danny DaCosta, 18 assists as well. Solid season. £50 million going into the final year. But let's have a look at the points. Season 4 points are Mega Luke with 7 and Dad with 1, meaning the total points are Luke with 13 and Dad with 2. Okay, going into this final season then, the points, there's a big gap, but anything can happen. You're not out of striking range
Well,
still.
I can only win the cups now, which is the FA Cup and the Carabao Cup, and win the league. That's all I can do.
Yeah.
So I've got to really do something there.
Yeah, but I could balls it up.
Oh yeah, definitely, yeah.
Gagliardini, free transfer from Atalanta there. Great free transfer, by the way. Look at that. And Matthias de Ligt. Now, on this, I remember when he was a wonder kid on this one. Obviously, coming through as like a 16-year-old. He was playing first-team football for Ajax. I've signed him for Stoke. So now I have a centre-back partnership of de Ligt and Van Dijk.
Yeah, it's really good.
Playing,
best two players, yeah.
Yeah, £43 million, which isn't bad at all. So I'm happy with the two signings that I have made there. And tactically, we're keeping it as it was. So I'm happy with that. Patrick Vimmer tends to go in here quite a lot as well. But I'm happy just to let him play it out. As you can see there, de Ligt's played 1 and come off the bench 5 times. So that's absolutely fine with me. Ramadan Sobhi, by the way, 6 assists and 2 goals in just 4 appearances so far. Because he picked up an injury, which will take him out for the next couple of weeks. But what a start he has had. Patrick Schick, 9 and 8. So, really good start to the season. But, Dad, you've made a marquee signing. It's Erling Haaland.
When he's at City, no one can ever sign him, do they? So, I'll sign him before he goes to City.
Yeah.
I'm fingers crossed for this one. I spent a lot of money on this guy. So
£76 million.
I'm hoping he'll do the job for me.
2 in 5 already.
Yeah.
He's got 5 in total because he got 3 in the Carabao Cup.
I don't think he would get into my starting 11, but I'm going to lock him in.
Yeah.
And just see what he can do.
It's a bit of fun, isn't it?
Yeah, of course it is. I don't think I'm going to do anything. I'm that far beyond already, so winning that cup last season for you just done it for me, really. Yeah. So yeah.
And you think this is the 5th season? This will be the season going into the 2022 season. At this point, he was at Dortmund and he was amazing.
Oh, he was, wasn't he? Yeah.
Yeah.
That's when everybody was like talking about him then, wasn't he?
Yeah, exactly. Just before, obviously, he had made the move to Dortmund. There was talks of him going. Like Ollie tried to sign him for Man United when it was reports, but yeah, he went from Salzburg to Dortmund.
So I'm hoping he can do the business for me.
Yeah, but he ain't your only signing. You got Kasper Schmeichel coming in on a free transfer.
Yeah, good signing for a
goalie every year. Yeah. There we go. Thomas Delaney, good midfielder on a free transfer as well. Really good mental attributes again. And Chancellor Mbemba from Newcastle, £25 million. Who plays at the back on the right hand side,
the defence up. Yeah. So I'm going for the same sort of tactic, but where I thought I conceded a lot of goals, I've been a little bit more defensive. So I've just dropped all my midfielders down into that the defensive midfield role. But yeah, I'm locking Haaland in.
And Chancellor Mbemba as well.
Yeah.
Mainly because you picked best 11. Chancellor Mbemba does actually go in there, but he didn't when you first started playing. And obviously, Munir now comes out. So really, I think it would be like this.
Yeah, that's how I was hoping it was going to be when I locking the buy-in. So yeah, Evans is still there for me as well. He's got the left back now.
He's playing at left back.
So he's still there with me. So
both got a couple of players from the original team. So in there you got Ollie Burke and Evans. I've got the likes of Ramadan Sobhi and Shaqiri and Bojan still knocking around. So
I'm hoping this one's going to do a little bit better for me than the last season. So if Alan starts scoring, I'll be well in for it then.
Start of the season, lost to Manchester City. Johnny Evans got sent off in that one. Lost to Tottenham. But the rest of the games has been quite good. Beating Watford 5-0. Draw at home to Burnley, but it was saved in the 90th minute by Munir. Winning the cup, and then a win against Bristol City and Bristol Rovers back-to-back.
Yeah, and Haaland
the same result.
And he started scoring.
Yeah.
So he's up and going, so hopefully that's going to do well for me.
Okay, well, let's have a look at this Stoke side, how we've been doing at the start of the season. It's been okay, but we have lost to Liverpool and Arsenal. So a 3-1 loss to Liverpool there, and a 4-2 loss to Arsenal where Akanji got sent off, unfortunately. But the rest of the results have been okay. We've haven't conceded that many goals outside of those 2 games either. It's a promising start. We're in 5th place. Let's see what we can do in this 5th and final season. Well, season number 5. I finished in 6th, but Dad was fired.
Erling Haaland didn't save me, did he?
He certainly didn't.
Oh,
I can't say you blamed it on Erling Haaland, though. All right, well, let's have a look. So, league table, I finished in 6th place.
9th?
Well, West Brom finished in 9th.
Yeah, but I must have been quite close to that position. I wasn't sacked at the beginning of the season.
Well, we could see you want to have a find out. Job history, you were down in 12th, bottom half, unfortunately.
Yeah. I just think sometimes clubs are just too quick to jump on the bandwagon of sacking managers.
Oh yeah, it's such a shame, isn't it? We'll have a look in a second on the West Brom and go on job history or managers there. So you were sacked, Dad, the 11th of March.
Yeah.
But to be fair, Paul Heckenbottom's done an incredible job to get him up into 9th place from 12th from March. Fair play to them.
I said March. I probably just got knocked out of the FA Cup then, really, didn't I?
Yeah.
Probably around about then. And then I knew they weren't going to do anything in the league, so they just sacked me then.
Well, I actually went on to win the FA Cup.
You're probably going to tell me that you knocked me out of the FA Cup. That'd be even worse.
Well, have a look. But I also finished runners-up at the Carabao Cup, losing to Chelsea, unfortunately. But what I did do was knock West Brom out in the quarter-final.
Yeah, see, you cost me my job. I could have gone on to a cup final then.
Oh, yeah, definitely. 100% would have got to the cup final. I beat Man City in the FA Cup, so that's great. Stoke have won 2 trophies under my regime here. Really good. Patenya got 19 goals. Benteke got our highest average rating.
I can't believe that's Hugo Lloris bringing 17 clean sheets. No, I don't believe that. Never.
In terms of fixtures against each other, Dad, if we're looking at this, the first game against each other, you actually beat me.
Oh.
Oliver Burke.
Get in.
Got 2 goals there, which meant you still get a point for that.
Yeah.
So it's actually only -9 at the minute, because you get -10 for getting sacked, just in case you didn't know. So that's -9 now, because you did get a result while you were in charge. Now, the other fixtures, you can see there, obviously I beat you 4-2 in the Carabao Cup, so I do get 2 points for knocking you out. 1 for beating you, 1 for knocking you out of the competition. Yeah. And the third game against each other, which was here, which was still when you were in charge, just in the middle of February, I beat you 3-2. So I do get another point for that one as well. So 3 points, obviously, for winning the FA Cup. 3 points for results against you. Gives me 6 points.
Just for interest in it, go on to West Brom's team, Erling Haaland. How many goals did he score?
How many goals did Erling Haaland score? Now, 14 goals was the total for Oliver Burke. Erling Haaland got 10 in 37 games.
And he scored right at the beginning.
He has got better.
Yeah, he scored at the beginning of the season, didn't he? He was scoring quite a few.
Yeah, considering he was only a League One player, he's now a good Premier League player. Oh, yeah, unfortunate.
See, if they kept me for another season, I'd have been all right now.
Oh, yeah, that was the reason. Yeah, that was the reason. But now, what we can't deny is this team that I built with Stoke was quite entertaining.
Unbelievable.
Fun.
Yeah, very good side.
Really good indeed. It will be available, of course, on the Patreon or the YouTube channel members to pick up on the £5 tier. And if you have got this far, by the way, you're part of the Season 5 crew. So let us know down in the comments if you made it this far. I think we'll have to get like a t-shirt made, aren't we? Part of the Season 5 crew. Because I do appreciate all you guys who stick around to the end. But let's have a look then at the final thing of my statistics there. 36 from Patenya. Really good. 30 from Patrick Schick and 28 from Benteke. Those 3 guys were great for me, considering they were sharing the 2 up front. Did really well. Bojan did quite well this season. Ramadan Sobhi, a little bit less than what was anticipated. Van Dijk did quite well. 10 goals from Virg.
Yeah.
30 years of age now.
Very good.
Yeah, very good indeed. Bruno Martins. How did he get 20 assists? He wasn't taking corners.
He's not that good at crossing, no.
I have no idea how he managed to do that. I mean, obviously, we're still running the tactic where we are much more direct and higher tempo. He must have just been whipping them in.
Yeah.
Fair play. 20 assists that season from Bruno Mines, indeed. Nobody ever seen that one come in, but that is quite impressive. Very impressive indeed. Because Akanji got 18 from right back. If anybody decides to take this on, you get £53 million, of course. But let's have a look at the final points tally. Season 5 points are Mega Luke with 6 and Dad with -9, meaning the total points are Omega Luke with 19 and Dad with -7. Now, I think your biggest mistake was selling Alan Neon.
I thought he was going to say Harry Winks again.
No, that was a bad mistake, don't get me wrong. But Alan Neon, he deserved better.
I sold him too quickly, didn't I?
Yeah. Very good. I hope you really enjoy this one. We do enjoy doing the retro databases. I'll probably have a deeper dive video coming up with this one. Maybe we'll do like a future save and we take a look at it. But keep letting us know what your ideas, what you want to see us get into, because we've got some other ideas that we might do. Rebuilds, what I'm thinking is, because people are a bit like, rebuilds are the same thing now. We might just do something different every other Monday. What I'm thinking, maybe we're going to do like a player simulation or something, or of course the new Race to the Prem that we have started this week going, which you can see on the end screen. We might just chuck in another episode of that on a Monday if we can't think of anything else. All right, just so that we're not just bombarding you with just rebuilds every single week. But thank you very much for watching and getting to the end, you Season 5 crew. Really do appreciate it.
Thank you very much.
And we'll see you next week on the next one. And there is the Race to the Prem, Episode 1.